All right, y'all, let's get into the transfiguration of the nation and the transfiguration of Jesus. So we've been tracking a tree, and this tree's been growing up, and it's the forbidden fruit tree, and otherwise known as a fig tree and such, or it grows like a fig tree, we can say. But we can watch the fig tree and know how this forbidden fruit is harvested, okay? So with that, we see the fig tree shooting off its branches now, all right? And as this fig tree shoots off its branches, it's going to create leaves. And with the leaves, you get shadows. And with the shadows, you can get fish, because the shadows are attracted to the light, and the fish come after the shadows when things go dark. So, when the fig tree, it's going to grow fast. These grow fast, all right? And I don't know if the fruit is going to be harvested as early as this season, or if it's going to be harvested as late as the 2024 season, okay? But the point is, all these things are boom, 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 because we're in that time of the 70 weeks of Daniel. And during that 70 weeks of Daniel, the little horn is being established. So this is where you're seeing the Florida and Texas and these southern states, they're going to start playing a push. And we're seeing the extreme right, and we just see different things going on that are reflecting, that are like, one's going this way, one's going this way, but one's doing this and one's doing that. So people are like, oh, what are we going to pick? You know what I mean? So either way, it's all cultivating people down there, because when the Red Sea splits, it's going to cause the Exodus. And during this Exodus is when those leaves are coming and the shadows are coming out. And either way, folks. So my wife, she had an idea that came across her, that they didn't recognize Jesus, because when Jesus came back, he came back with a different body and such, but he came back maybe looking like a woman, and this is why they didn't recognize him. Maybe he had like short shaved hair before and came back with long flowing hair afterwards or something. Who knows? But this can be tied to that transfiguration, because what we're seeing now is, as we're living in our times, we can look at our times and look at the Bible as a map, as a script, the scripture for the world stage. And the script is a parable, is a legend for the things going on in our world. And while God is light, God is love, God created the heaven and the earth. Okay, in Genesis, there's nowhere in hell. Hell's not mentioned. I think we need to go back and re-examine hell, folks. And the Jews are the ones that are seeking salvation. And Jesus came against their laws and came against their salvation. He says, I'm the salvation. The people are blinded and confused today. They don't understand who Jesus is. And this is very simple. The Bible is a book for the Jews. Where are the missing years of Jesus? There are things out there that tell you where Jesus was in those missing years. And he's out there learning all these different religions, all these spirits of God. And he's bringing them all into one. And he's telling people, they're doing this over here, they're doing this over here, they're doing this over here. Nobody's right. Okay, you do what's right in your own eyes, because we're all children of God. We're all that light. So, the dragon gives the power. And that dragon is tied to that transformation of the nation. And these things are kind of happening in steps. And the things we see in our world today, okay? And if you you think backwards, we're going into a time where everything is concentrating. So that's how things get spread out. And like dressing like a woman and such, that would obviously be one of the last things to be put in, because it's kind of obvious a lot of times when a man is wearing the dress. Okay, so you just got to think a little, folks. The beginning is declared from the end. We're going from one big bang to another big bang, in another matter of speaking. Okay, and that big bang would be that a bomb in a nation where everything is taken out, but in the big bang where everything is, or in God's creation where everything is just put there, all the men are just there or whatever, going in a rewind because we're in a projection of God, then that would be that rewind. Okay, so the bomb is what creates the man. So we see the military now doing the drag shows, and the schools doing the drag shows and all this stuff. Okay, because all this stuff it's like it's coming from, looking backwards, it's coming from heaven, and then they're casting down heaven, and they're coming out and trying to do man a new way. So this stuff starts phasing out, and then eventually you get schools gone, you get all this stuff gone, where man is living as Jesus when Jesus comes back, kind of thing. Or at a peak time when they go against the church, because the church is there, it crumbles, starts a new time. We're going through those times again, and either way. Also with so Satan, all right, he's been cast to this position. Dawn coming on the scene. He's saying, hey, curtain call, 3.5 years, get ready, folks, blah, blah, blah. And he's doing the puppets, okay? So he has this Satan cast for the script to do these things. And as he's doing these things, different things are going to play out, okay? We can see like Trump is getting involved with the Stormy Daniels and those vile things or whatever. And then we got Hunter Biden's photos all released, which some funny stuff going on there, folks. I'll post some of that stuff. And then which that is all obviously a psyop, y'all. That's like that part where the things have been collected over time, and no one in their right mind is going to put this info on their iCloud or whatever kind they put it on, like a private drive or whatever. But either way, it's all there as a test to see if people buy it or whatever. Okay, so either way, that's just one part of that blackmail thing coming in, and the other side is the celebrities tied into the Epstein stuff. So it's all coming. It's where the truth was given in a half and half, and you got to put it together. But that time is now. So I could see like Trump being involved in some hanky-panky or whatever, right? Being in the party scene, doing the powder puff. I've dressed up as drag for Halloween before. I wore the girl pants to the clubs or whatever, straight as a button, but it's just what I did to be in fashion, or to express my inner creativeness or whatever, because I'm an artist and I want to do whatever I want to do. You know, I'm used to people critiquing my art, saying my art's good, saying my art's bad, or whatever. I had a teacher in art school, in AI school, Art Institute of Dallas, named Mr. Parrish, and he used to walk down we used to all have to hang up our art, and he'd walk down, this is shit, blah, blah. We're drawing perspective. Do you see perspective here? Class, do you see any perspective on this? Right? Or whatever. And he'd crack, I mean, it was some shit. Like every time you come, man, I hope you like my stuff. That was the one where we saw the dude hanging from the rafters naked, and he was all completely shaved, and he was just hanging from all kinds of positions. We were seeing all kinds of things I've never seen in all my life at that point, and we're just cracking up. But you know, Funny stuff. But you know what? I grew up Southern Baptist, and in Southern Baptist, they actually teach salvation right, to where there's pretty much 2 laws, and that's to love God. You are God. Behold, man has become one of us. We are God's son. As God's son, we are God. So love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. All right. All the law is fulfilled in those commandments. And that's what the church is going to miss today. That's why the church today is filled with hatred. That's why the self-righteousness people are filled with hatred, because they're going to lift up the serpent. They're going to lift up the day of Satan, and they are going to fulfill the law and bring themselves into bondage. And they're going to say, ah, shit, we're left behind, and we got Satan here. And then eventually, now, I've had some dream, and I don't know if I was in the club with it or whatever in this dream, but I have seen Ron DeSatan in drag. Okay, I've seen him, and it was like a purple boa, and he had the makeup on and the hair or whatever. I don't know if it's telling me the stuff it's tied to the dragon stuff coming, or if he's actually going to come out as in drag later on, because we see like Top Gun, he's the Navy Tomcat or whatever, Tom Cruise dude, but we see that was brought back out with more of a rainbow flare, and you got the golden, oh man, dude, there was a bunch of undertones on there, man. But it was basically just made for those undertones. All right. It's the same with that Rock and what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. They came out with that red whatever love story between the 2 dudes. Anyways. So the boa is that feather boa that the drags use. And this is that bow that DeSantis is going to get his power from, and all those other things. Okay, so as these things are like playing out, we're going to see like we've been seeing the spiritual, but that spiritual carnal is in the play now. This is where we can see like Trump and the hanky panky. And then when the carnal comes later on, when DeSantis has his power trip or whatever, if this goes like that, then you could have oh, shoot, I just had a brain fart because I've been thinking about Matt Gaetz. We're gonna have to go on this other thought because this ties in. Sorry, folks. The Matt Gaetz. Oh, the Ron DeSantis. Oh shoot, I'm getting all flustered now. Matt Gaetz, the Orlando shooting. Okay, it's got the Omar Matt teen. And we're in that time of teens right now. So I can see Matt Gaetz, the gates of hell, the firebrand. He's doing his thing right now or whatever. And he looks kind of draggy. But he could come in and jump in front of DeSatan or whatever and take that shooting. And that's that replay of that Orlando shooting, because we see DeSantis going against Orlando right now with Disney and all that, and we see the trans stuff going on in Florida. So this is all that like replay and a reflection there. But we could see Matt Teen, the Matt Gaetz coming in and taking the bullet for DeSantis or however kind of thing, and then he lays open the firebrand coming open and going and doing his wrath kind of thing. But either way, we'll be connecting some dots on this. This is just laying out some transfiguration plays of the fig tree going on right now. That's kind of been coming up in the spirit. So either way, those who have the eyes and ears, gather up, be ready.